I'm on the job, no question. I answer to myself, Black Panther in the stealth. Seal DNA up in the bloodline. School deaf, dumb, blind, ignorant thug mind. Come at me wrong, eat your food like it's grub time. M.reck got a music brand, I love mine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Check.
We back, man. MReckNRip show.
Rip, what's happening? Salute, King.
What's going on, King? I see the watermark back up there. Okay, I see it. You know what I'm saying? We good. We golden.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's been a while. You know, we had to take a little break. You know what I'm saying? Get some things situated with the platforms.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But what you been up to, M.reck?
Man, same day. We do every day. Trying to take over the world, man. Getting to it.
Listen, man, we got a lot of content in store for y'all, but today we're gonna talk about a couple topics, man. Earlier this week, it was announced that Swizz Beatz and Timbaland will be taking Triller to court after it was revealed that they pretty much haven't fully paid for the Versus platform.
Crazy.
Since then, a lot of people have been speaking on this topic online, and they got a lot to say, man. What are your thoughts on the people that's speaking in the sense of Timbaland and Swizz should have never sold it in the first place? What are your thoughts on that narrative that's out here?
So we talking about like fans? Everybody say that, but what was the initial deal that they sold it for?
Me, I don't have the particulars because I don't have the contract here, but from what I remember, I do remember Swizz and Tim saying, like, on the back end, you know, the artists that partook in the platform would get some form of equity in the company.
Shares.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was something that was needed for the culture, right? The legends not only would be performing, but they would be getting money as well, right? But on the flip side, how can Triller make money? You know what I mean?
I mean, from what I understand, it would have to be subscription based. Getting people to sign up to that app for, I guess, you know, what was they charging? I believe was it was something low, right? Was it $3.99, $5.99?
I think because it was like a
package, right?
Right. It was like Fight TV and Triller at the same time, but I know that it was about $3, $2.99 or something like that.
Yeah, something like, you know.
And people were upset, remember certain verses weren't showing up on the Instagram Live. People started fussing, so you know, initially Triller came out and said that they paid Swizz and them up front, but you know, I guess they got to prove this in a court of law at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Damn public appeal. You're going to have to say this in front of the judge, provide your best evidence. But, you know, this is something that's serious, in my opinion, because all this time people are already trying to figure out what's the next versus matchup and, you know, wondering why we haven't been getting these verses back to back. So, here we are. Come to find out that Swizz and Tim and Triller are on two different playing fields right now. You know what I'm saying? In regards to just communication. You know, hopefully they'll resolve it. But as far as reputation, you know, is Triller done moving forward?
Yeah, because there's other controversy where they were supposed to pay content creators, I think somewhat up to like 150 million. And
not just content creators, you know what I'm saying? Black content creators.
Black content creators, correct. Right. And that stopped them from being from broadcasting on other social media sites, like such as TikTok and all that. So, you know, I don't know, Triller brand looking a little spooky right now in terms of business. How they do business.
Right.
But in all fairness, they gotta make money. Like, let's, you know, going back to the Swizz and Timbaland versus situation. Like, if they broadcasting these fights, and of course, I mean, not only these fights, these events, these Triller events, these verses.
That's another thing too. I'm glad you said that because a lot of. That's what I'm saying. It just
A
seems
lot
like
of money got to get paid out.
But that's the thing, like from a standpoint of entertainment, right? Let's just take it back to how this thing first started. It started because people was trying to be entertained at home during the pandemic,
During the
right?
shutdown, correct?
Right, and somehow, some way, Swizz and Tim, turned this into. Because I don't know if this was them initially in the beginning phase, right? I think this was just artists going on Instagram Live and giving you their best hits. And then somehow Swizz and Tim got themselves involved in a way that they created a platform to put it on a bigger scale. So,
the first verses initially for them was I think Timberland versus Swiss Beats. They had a versus. Well, I don't know if they was calling it verses, but they had like a beat battle.
Okay, that's true.
And then it was Kanye West versus Swiss Beats. Right? A summer jam. Summer jam.
Okay. Maybe you put me on with game. I was thinking about it from the Instagram standpoint when who was it? I think Neo did one. You know what I mean? It was like something organic at that time. But the point is, here we are where take the Cypress Hill versus Onyx versus where fans were confused because they didn't understand if this was just like a halftime show performance for a fight card. You get what I'm saying? So it just seems like there's a lot of miscommunication.
It is
when it comes to these platforms, and it's all because Trilla's trying to make some money. You know what I mean? All parties want, not just Trilla, but all parties want to, you know what I mean, make money on the back end. But what is going on is the question as to why Swizz and Tim hasn't been fully cashed out yet. You know what I mean?
According to Trilla, they said they paid Timberland and Swizz, I believe, $50 million. Trilla claimed that they paid Swizz and Timberland $50 million so far under the deal.
Okay.
So,
well,
and I don't watch pockets, but I can't foresee them making $50 million since they did that deal with Swizz and Timberland. Like, do it add up to you? Like, in your eyes?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's about making the platform popular. That was the whole purpose, in my opinion, is of the mindset like, we're going to bring your audience over to our app. You know what I'm saying? And essentially, that's not what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's not what's happening. What's happening is people want it on Instagram when it's time for.
That's a key factor you said, not to cut your wisdom, King.
Real shit, yeah.
So basically, Timberland and Swizz was supposed to bring the Versus audience to the Trilla app.
That's what it looks like. You know what I mean? What is the sense of Trilla acquiring? Think about it. What's the point of Trilla acquiring the platform Versus? Because again, Apple had it first, right?
Yeah,
Apple had it first. Now Apple's a bigger name, bigger brand, bigger entity, but somehow, some way, I'm assuming Trilla offered more. You know what I mean? Which makes more sense, because why would you leave Apple unless somebody else is giving a bigger offer? So, to me, if I'm trying to not be biased, right, and automatically side with Swizz. I'm trying to look at it from a business standpoint and say, well, how does Trilla benefit as much as Swizz and Tim? And it hasn't been a perfect road up until this point. We've had some controversial versus matchups back, in the past year. So in the sense of, technical difficulties, it's always little things. You know what I mean? The last one, which was the R&B versus, I mean, that was about 5 hours.
That was a comedy show.
Yo, they was on the stage after midnight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like I said, you can see it. There was some tension, you know what I mean, behind the camera, whether it was just, the staff at Trilla or whatever the case may be. But to hear that it's a lawsuit taking place now, segueing over to Diddy, because he done made his name in the airwaves this week. He done pretty much came out first to start the campaign of, the Trilla boycott. What are your thoughts on Diddy coming out and encouraging people to stop messing with Trilla until they pay Swizz and Tim?
Man, the irony. You know what I mean? Like, how many people done came out publicly and said Diddy hasn't paid him anything in terms of publishing. You know, how many artists? You know what I mean? We can name legendary acts from the Locks to Mace. Man, we can go on and on. So, and we all know he had big publishing. So the audacity, the nerve, you boycotting Triller for not, I guess, giving Timberland and Swiss they second half, because they did get 50 million. You know what I mean? We know Mason and the Locks, they ain't get 5 million. So what we talking about?
I don't know.
What we talking about,
King? You know, Diddy is trying to, I guess, show his influence, I guess, in a way. Or in a way trying to find a way to acquire verses from Triller over there at the Revolt. Seems like maybe that's what the game plan is,
because
right?
Because he did spin off and said him and Jermaine Dupri is doing a hit for hit. Like, he kind of like, now it won't be a verses, but we're doing a hit for hit in Atlanta.
Right. And yeah,
we're doing verses, but it's not verses. This is my new thing. You know what I mean? Like the spin master. Diddy's the spin master.
Listen, you know, whatever needs to be done, because at the end of the day, before we fully transition to Diddy topic, at the end of the day, this platform was built, you know, and the people was there along the way. You know what I mean? We helped create this, you know what I mean, made it a thing. There was some historical moments.
Oh, man.
You know, we've had highlights, we've had lowlights, you know what I mean? But is it all worth throwing away? You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? In the sense of like, if that's not the case, if Revolt is not in the means or the business of trying to acquire verses, you know what I mean? Do Swizz and Tim walk away and are we finished with this? You know what I mean? Like, is it worth it? Like, damn.
Yeah. Like,
big brand.
I don't know. Yeah. Big brand.
Didn't even last long either. What, 18 months? Ain't even been that long.
I'm gonna be honest. After that Locks and Dipset versus, it was hard for them to match up that momentum of another versus battle. And I feel like that's where the momentum died at. In terms of, like, I remember everybody stopping what they was doing to watch versus. It had that effect.
No, it was crazy.
Especially that
promo leading up.
Yeah.
The promo leading up, the way they was just talking they ish.
Yeah, Jim Jones and Styles P going crazy on IG Live and IG videos, just really making it seem like it was some type of tension, but it was just all, you know, competition. It was all competitiveness. Right. You know what I mean? So, but it was dope though, because they all
lived up. It lived up to its expectation, which is rare.
Facts.
Right, it's rare. So, you know, I guess we have to stay tuned to see what happens next in this chapter when it comes to this versus lawsuit with Triller. You know, since then, Diddy has came out and started another campaign as R&B is dead. Of course, I'm sure this is to, you know, get the conversation going and maybe to highlight other R&B artists out right now. Do you think that's Diddy's intentions when he says this?
Nah, his intentions is, gotta think, he just dropped a single, I want to say, what, 2 months ago with Bryson Tiller during the BET Awards, and it fell on deaf ears. So he's looking at it like, I just dropped a record with Bryson Tiller and niggas ain't fuck with it. Like, oh, nah, I gotta wake the coach up. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. But it's really for his own personal gain, you know what I mean? And then also take certain heat off him, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that Mace, the Mace claims are still fresh. You know what I'm saying?
Them claims ain't fresh. Them claims old as hell. Them claims ain't fresh.
I'm talking about just in terms in the public eye.
Oh, all right. I mean,
Mace being vocal about it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. You know, of course we know Diddy's trying to, you know, get his pockets swollen regards. So it's all about the interest of, you know, driving the attention over to what he got going on. But
personal gain.
A lot of, you know, Jermaine Dupri, that's another one. Like, is that how you really feel? Like, is R&B really dead? Or is it because ain't nobody listening to the music that you put out? You know what I'm saying? Or they not feeling the joints you putting out right now. So that's what I'm saying. You don't want to go get the fans all riled up, because now throughout the week, people like Young Bird, Chris Brown, a lot of people done came out and spoke. Now Diddy, he done went on live, you know what, 2 nights in a row, speaking to Mary J, Summer Walk, right? You know what I mean? So, like, I see what you're doing, Diddy. You know what I mean? But do realize that the formula, you know, that Diddy formula that he used to have, in my opinion, this is how I feel, that Diddy formula back in the day, it's not the same no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, the bag, you can't just put the money up and have the best hit. Like, we seen it before, especially today, where, like, on paper, we see big names and features, but then when you hear the track, it don't live up to the hype. You know what I mean? So just understand that you just gotta be more tapped in, be more involved with what the sound is like today, because they are R&B artists that's putting out music. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, R&B isn't dead. It's just what we've been conditioned to from that late 90s, early 2000 era. That's dead. That's over.
Yeah, I mean,
you know
that era is dead. You know,
right. You know what I'm saying? So, because look, Jermaine Dupri, he did the same thing when the Division song came out and everybody wasn't feeling it. And he was trying to say, you know, if you don't like this song, you don't know rhythm and blues, and you know, you try to insult the listener. You know what I mean? As if they don't know music all this time. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like, come on, they're the same listeners you're gonna want to listen to your next single when they come out. So just you know, when you're in the field of creating, just put the music out and let the fans do what they do with it. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't get too caught up in my feelings.
Well, I just think that old conventional way of putting out music it doesn't serve a factor anymore. You know, let's be real. TikTok got it. And you don't have to have a dance to make a song go off on TikTok. It's very other creative ways you can make people tap into your music. I see it all the time, you know what I mean, with social media influences.
Right.
You got to crack that code. You know what I mean? You can't, you know, go to radio and buy out all the commercial slots for airplay no more. Like, that don't work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can still do it, but that doesn't resonate with the people no more.
No.
So,
but you know, he already doing dances. You seen him last night. He already got it. He's trying to get something started. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, when I go back on the edit, I could put the video up for y'all to see it. But Diddy, you know, it is what it is, man. You know how it is, man. It's another topic to talk about. But like I said, a lot of people are partaking in this conversation, and like I said, I don't know. I just feel like with the internet, it's impossible for a genre to just die out. You know, certain people have their own music taste. You know what I'm saying? Their own selection. So we had the classics. We know how to find the timeless R&B joints. And if there's newer artists, you know, for the listeners who may feel the same way, right? Because there are people that really did say that they agree with Diddy this week as well. So, you know, if you feel like that, then I encourage you to go on these platforms and find new R&B artists. You know,
bottom line. That's the bottom line right there. You know,
yeah,
because the music is more accessible now than before.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, and the access to it.
Yeah, the access to the music is unlimited.
Easy. It's what I'm saying. So to think that a whole genre like R&B, now the content, we can debate about the content of the R&B and all of that for another day. You know what I'm saying? Because it may seem like it's one-sided. You know, you have I don't know, you got that Summer Walker, the Ari Lennox, you got the Brent Faiyaz. You know, it's like a certain type of toxic type of R&B, but certain people relate. You know what I'm saying? Certain people, and that's what I mean about, you know, it's all about people's perspective and own experiences. That's the thing about music and why music is so relatable around the world. You know, so many different forms of music. So you know, come on now. We already know what they say. He gaslighting when he do that. He already trying to get shit started on the internet, and maybe it is a diversion from those claims you speak about.
Yes, sir. I see the play.
But who knows? I mean, you know, if all else fails, don't forget, you know, sign the Mace, man. Rich Fish Records. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know Mace, man. Shout out Mace. He out there on the gram. He out here on TikTok. He making his rounds.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, let's talk about The Game new album, Drillmatic, Heart vs. Mind. Came out last week. What was it? It's Friday, right? Actually.
Not this Friday.
Past Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, past Friday. You know, people are talking about it. First week sales came in. He did about 25K.
25K.
And this is after the feature from Kanye, right? The Easy record. This is after the anticipation, right? The anticipation of the Eminem Black Slim Shady record.
Yeah.
A lot of features on this album. This is a lot of features on this damn album, for real. And after all, since we're talking about features, Wack came out, you know, as he always do, speaking on Clubhouse, and basically spoke about, you know, of course, revealing to the people that Nipsey brother, Black Sam, made him remove the Nipsey Hussle record from the album due to some words that Wack100 has spoken in the past on platforms such as Clubhouse, etc.
So basically, Game suffers for Wack rhetoric on Clubhouse and other platforms.
Yeah, I mean that's the funny thing. Let Wack tell you. Let Wack tell you. Nipsey fans suffer. You know what I mean? Like he can't understand why Black Sam would, you know, turn this opportunity now financially where he feel like Nipsey fans deserve music. What is your thoughts, or you know, Wack's feelings in that regard? Do you think he out of line for that?
Out of pocket, out of line, out of pocket. I mean, the disrespect to that man's brand and just everything. Like talking about it's a Nipsey Hussle sex tape with his baby moms and some other dude and Nipsey doing some, you know, allegedly some fun boyish, you know what I'm saying, according to Wack. You know what I mean? We not co-signing that, you know what I mean? You know, kind of way. Nah, I mean, if I was Black Sam, I'd be on that same type of time. You know what I mean? That's his brother. That's his blood brother at that. That's not even like no exec that got Nipsey estate. That's his blood brother. So that hit different.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer, man. Wack is funny. Wack is hilarious. To even think that Black Sam is out of line for not wanting to allow this verse on Game's new album. Because I guess in Wack's mind, Game helped Nipsey, you know, his career by, I guess, giving him a platform, showing him light during the time Game was, I guess, you know, still out active on the road, making music and doing his things back in the day. So, you know, people have their opinions, but at the end of the day, it's not about the opinion. It's about who got the call. And if Black Sam said it come down, you know what I mean? According to that, then it had to come down. Now, another, you know, verse apparently was removed. And I guess it was the NBA YoungBoy song as well, because according to Wack, they just couldn't afford it from what it seemed like. You know what I mean? Like
they got a discount. They got a 50% discount and they still couldn't afford it.
Or at least Wack said, you know, in the most respectful way, it would cut in a certain cost. You know, this is an independent release. Yeah. So to him, it was a financial decision. But do you think, you know, these verses would have helped with the sales in that regard?
It wouldn't have made a difference.
You don't think so?
It wasn't like, okay, the NBA YoungBoy verses on Game album, that's gonna make it do another 50K. Nah, that wasn't gonna happen.
I mean, who knows, right? NBA YoungBoy fans, if they want to hear a new YoungBoy verse,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Now, again, we know, who's buying albums. We know that, so we not talk.
right.
We talking in the aspect of
Streams.
streams, right,
Yeah.
right. So,
yeah, I get
in
it.
that regard, shit, I do think NBA YoungBoy would give him his album some boosts in the same way Easy did when Kanye jumped on it. You know what I mean?
If we going on streams, yeah. From that standpoint, yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like once they do a video, oh, it's up. You know what I mean? Them YoungBoy fans, they're gonna jump on that easily. So,
so, well, now that's the round table decision that you got to make. That is it beneficial for the album in terms of do we give them the 150K because we know we're gonna benefit off the streams off this record, and it's gonna help the album's sales in general. So if that's the situation, then they should have just gave up the 150K. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, Wack a millionaire, right? Game a millionaire, right?
But see, that's the thing,
Allegedly.
I guess, yeah, right. He said allegedly. I don't know what their Google net worth is, but for the most part, I guess are they going to be making 150? That's just the recoup. So it's like you got to be able to make that and then some on the back end. So
but think about it, 150K, right? And if we're gonna go off streams and Spotify, I guess downloads
numbers, right.
Digital downloads, right? They still got that, right?
It's the same streams. It's the same thing, right?
Now you can actually buy the record and download it. I don't know if it's Spotify, it might be Apple. You can actually buy it for 99 cents. They don't have those options no more. You can actually
there's other platforms. I know they got Bandcamp, like you said, Apple. So it's
you can actually own the content yourself, like download it in your playlist, whether it's of course on your phone. But
right. But the numbers of streams and how they equate to an album. So right, it's like 1,500 streams. So
yeah,
it's a lot of it takes a lot of streams basically to make the money.
Sale.
Right. Yeah. So from that standpoint, I get it. Because you ain't making a lot of money if you need 1 billion streams. You think some of the top biggest artists, Taylor Swift, a lot of them still ain't getting their money. You know what I mean? They still boycotting that system. So, again, it's a tough situation to be a part of, but looking at it, I will say that it did debut on the top 10, rap albums, which is a good thing to say that people was actually interested, interested in Game's new music because people didn't know, you know what I mean? The antics leading up to it, he's still doing interviews. He's still, airing out certain things from the past with him and 50. Now he's saying that 50 didn't write How We Do. He actually wrote it. So, whether you believe him or not, it still keeps his name, in the conversation, keeps his name in the headlines. I
want to say this though. Game Pass albums have been real dope. I want to put that on the record. From the documentary, Devil's Advocate.
Doctor's Advocate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my bad. Doctor's Advocate. My bad.
Red Album.
Jesus Peace. He had some real dope albums.
LAX.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Real dope projects. Damn near classics or close to it.
Yeah.
Solid projects. Nevertheless.
So. But never, to me, that's the thing. Obviously that energy that existed during that time when him and 50 was cool. To me, it's just never going to live up to that time period, to that era. And, was features the right way to go? Because again, I'm sure all the features cost some bread for this album. So,
according to Game, I'm glad you brought that up, not to cut your wisdom. His response to the NBA YoungBoy feature price was like he laughed on IG in an IG comment and said, "I never paid for no verse ever in my career."
Okay, all right. Well, I guess that settles that then, sir.
So,
I mean, it's out there already.
All these features, I guess he got great relationships, and that's how him and the artists work their relationship. Like, I guess, Kanye West doing a project, later on this year, Game will be on it, and he ain't got to pay Game because, that's
Verse
how
for
they rock.
verse.
Yeah,
I
verse for
guess.
verse,
Verse for verse.
whatever, beat for verse, whatever. However they figure that part out.
Right.
Or in the Game, he don't pay for verses. So
I mean, you gonna always have them relationships with certain people. That makes sense in the industry, right?
I respect.
Let's just be honest here. I mean, if that was the case, then you wouldn't even mentioned you had a verse from YoungBoy if it was that serious. So obviously something happened towards, the time of the release to make them change it. Because in the beginning, it was out there. When I heard the album, I heard the song. So what made them want to, backtrack? That payment didn't process or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He ain't signed off.
That's what I'm saying. So it's out there, but like you said, it comes with the territory. But the point is, there's a lot of artists scared to release. Veteran artists, that has a nice track record, scared to release because of, fearing that they're not going to sell a lot of albums. And the big names coming out, you know what I mean? And Beyonce, Kendrick, it's not like they, 1 million sales in a day. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. Beyonce dropped the album. And it's kind of like, okay, she dropped the album. 1 minute they were saying she was going to do like 500K. Then after that, they said it was 270K. And then we didn't hear anything. Yeah. It's like it's quiet. Even right now, it's quiet. The single, what's the name of it? My Soul. You can't break my soul. You won't break my soul.
Right.
Dope record, going off in the clubs, radio. She got a smasher. Salute. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But in all actuality, it's quiet in terms of the album momentum. Let me know if I'm bugging.
I mean, the funny thing is her fans is going hard body. Every time I look on social media, somebody posting it. Right. They playing it. The women, they feeling it. The people feeling it. But you're right, though. It was a lot of pump faking, leading up to the release. You know what I mean? I seen some that was saying, like, yo, she was doing the 500K sales. And it's like, yo, So they did it with
I want to
Kendrick,
say this, though, not to cut your wisdom. Beyonce, incredible artist and impeccable performer. Because, you got to put that out there because I don't want nobody to take it the wrong way. We're not taking nothing away from Beyonce legacy and who she is. We all know Beyonce is Beyonce. She's damn near like, how do I, the caliber of artist Beyonce is, like, how do you equate that? I'm trying to,
I mean, she been in the game a long time. You know what I mean? At this point, she got years in the game, and I think we kind of forget that, you know what I mean? This isn't, the releases in between to be years apart, but for the most part, like I said, this isn't 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. Beyonce was smoking on fire, hit after hit after hit after hit. So for her to even be able to put an album out like this, like I said, this is just to help encourage other artists to keep doing what you do. You know what I mean? The fear of criticism and flop and all of that, you can't let that bother you to a point where you feel like you don't even want to put out music. And that's the whole thing. Like, it's a difference from, having your opinion about the album or just like, yo, I don't like the artist. Because a lot of people's going in on game. Like, trash. And I'm just like, yo.
Game ain't trash. Like, we ain't going to do that.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying. We're not going to do that. Game ain't trash. I didn't hear this body of work. I heard, certain records off it, but I didn't hear the full body of work. I tried to get into it, but I had other things going on. I'm gonna probably get to it.
I don't know. Maybe they were secretly Eminem fans, posing it like they was listening to the album. But for the most part, you gotta, Game fans get to have a new album. Huh?
What you thought about the album?
I thought the album was decent. I think he got too caught up in the trying to, because it's hard. Like, what does Game sound, right? And now music has changed a lot. It's evolved in different spaces where it was certain records like the the Fabio Foreign record, the drill record. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to hear.
I want to hear that from Game.
No. You know what I'm saying? You want maybe on Fabio joint because that's what Fabio do. So it's like certain joints. I feel like he was just trying to appeal to certain markets from a standpoint of just the collab. If I link up with this artist, I'm gonna tap into that market. If I, you know what I mean? And it's like, yo, we've heard better. You know what I mean? From the standpoint of a well put together album. You know what I mean? 10, 12 songs in, it's just like 10, 12 songs. It isn't like a fluid album all the way through for me. Not a bad album. We know he can rap, but at the end of the day, you can have 30 songs on, 70 songs on it, 80 songs. Like, if you ain't got no hits, if you ain't got no singles that they can play on his radio, what is the point? Your fans will be. So what I'm saying, like, your fans will enjoy it, but they want hits. You want your shit played on commercials. You know what I'm saying? The whole wise, like, when we say hit, we talking like Silk Sonic, leave the doors open. You know what I'm saying? Like, hit, like, it's just nonstop when you
undeniable.
Come on, you know what I'm saying? Off of one record, Silk Sonic, and of course it's a different genre. But the point is, when it's a hit, it's a hit. The boys came out with one single and rode the momentum for a whole year off one single. That doesn't happen like that. You know what I mean? But like I said, kudos to Game. But in other news, we got to talk about Slaughterhouse, y'all. They popped up Friday evening, Crooked Eye and Joell Ortiz, to announce a new album coming out titled Harbor City.
September 16th.
So, shout out to them boys, but
salute to them.
They pretty much came on the Instagram Live to address some of the things that Royce the 5'9" spoke about in regards to the breakup, or at least I say the fallout with the group Slaughterhouse. For those who don't know, Royce the 5'9", he appeared on Math Hoffa's My Expert Opinion. And if you have, check out a few clips that they've released in regards to the breakup. And I got to ask you, do you think that all of this is an evil genius plan to, like, craft their reunion once again and for all,
Yeah and no. Because if it was really like they supposed to be all brothers. Let's put that out there.
Right.
Now, if I got an issue with my brother, I'm not going to social media. I'm not doing no interviews about family-ish with no podcast, with no media platform. I'm calling my brother. Like, that's, yo, you know what? Where you at? You in Detroit? I'm flying out there to come see you. Or, yo, when the next time you come to New York, let's link.
Right.
So like you said, it may be, like I said, and maybe it may be a diabolical plan for them to market Slaughterhouse doing a reunion, maybe. But I don't know. It seems a little toxic, though, at the same time. Seems a little toxic.
I mean, it's as if, like, Joell and Crooked are saying, like, the narrative that's being pushed is false in regards to what Royce is saying. But, fans are conflicted because they don't feel like, some fans don't feel like they dissed Joell. Like, at the end of the day, regardless of who you blame, it seems like there was some form of miscommunication as to how they wanted to put out a last album, you know what I'm saying, or album again. Joell, Crooked Eye went their way for some reason. Joe and Royce went their way. And I just think it's really messed up for the fans, because I just hope this is a play to get the fans back, loving the group again. Yeah, like, because if this is real, if these four men are now, like, looking at each other in a way where it's like, oh, come on. Joell talking about he not above a diss I mean, is this serious? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting to that point. So
Joel is saying that about Royce.
Yeah.
Because Joe Budden is off the table, right? I think you told me on the sidebar that Joel seen Joe Budden and
in the live, he said it. He said since he's seen Joe Budden a couple months ago, since the first live came out, right when they all was on the live, you know, Joe said he wasn't going to talk about it. You know what I mean? So now we got Math, right? One of the smoking podcasts, you know, YouTube platforms out right now. That's it, you know, people talking, so it's a relevant platform. So, you know, Royce comes on, he talks about it, it's gonna go viral. So that's why I said it's just like it's kind of weird in a sense, because where do the fans go in the sense of like, yo, we want to hear Slaughterhouse music, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that Crooked Eye and Joel, they're gonna put out a dope project with Harbor City. You know what I mean? The last project they did, right? What was it called again? Do you remember?
Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse. The Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse.
There you go. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I would just hope that this is one big plan to kind of get them all together, or at least somebody provides a platform in which all four of these brothers can sit down, whether it be Joe Budden podcast, whoever. Like, it needs to be hashed out because it looks crazy.
So crazy. You mentioned in Joe Budden podcast, that would be so dope for all of them just to go up there and just address what's going on.
Everything. And just get it off your chest. Everything.
That would be so dope. It's so easy. Joe Budden, you know, he got one of the biggest podcasts, you know, on the market. And he is 1/4 of Slaughterhouse. You mean to tell me y'all can't, you know, I guess just pull up to his podcast and hash things out? Like, you know, even if you don't put out an album, just to talk about it for the fans. I think that would be dope. I think that episode would probably do 1 million the first day.
Easy. And I only say that because we know, like, if it appears from what I looked at in, you know, the past years, this ain't no real beef. Like, I don't feel like this is something that's going to spill over, nothing crazy. And that's the thing. Like, when brothers, you know, you have your differences, you selling them in a way in which it shouldn't have to lead to it being, you know, alive or anything of that nature.
On these public platforms.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But in defense of Royce, you know, people going to speak their truth. You know what I mean? Narratives, they exist out here. People create narratives every day. You know, we're in the business, media, you know what I mean, where people speculate. We're going to talk about that later. You got platforms that put out misinformation. So,
man,
you know, we not, you know, not upset at Royce for speaking on it, because at the end of the day, he's a part of the conversation. You know what I mean? But,
and like you said, he's speaking his truth.
At least that's how he feels. So everybody entitled to get theirs off. And that's why Joel and Crooked Eye came on to respond. And like I said, man, hopefully they can just...
Like speaking their truth.
Of course, you know. But like I said, man, salute to them brothers. Make sure y'all support the Harbor City album when it does drop. Because, again, people complain about certain type of rap and hip-hop and the lack thereof, but we got to support it when it comes out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you contradict yourself when 1 minute you want to support these artists, but when they put out these projects, ain't nobody checking for them. You know what I mean? So we got to play our part at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
So that's why I said I hope that all of this is a play to get people to anticipate Slaughterhouse music again. You know?
I hope so.
So, moving on. Let's see what we got about. We got the we want to talk about Charleston White, yo.
I mean, why not? Yeah, let's stress it.
Charleston White, here we go again, man. Charleston White apparently got rapper Quick Flip Vino arrested after sending threats to Charleston over online social media threats or whatever the case may be. Of course, he showed up on the stream celebrating, jumping for joy. Once it, you know, news got back that the rapper was actually arrested. I don't know how true it is, but we haven't seen any video from Quick Flip Vino yet. Not that I know of. So that this has to be true. Or maybe he must be arrested on something else. But either way, like, you know, is Charleston trolling too much? Is he taking this too far? Or is this a new day and age where like people don't have to be scared of repercussions anymore? What are your thoughts on that, man?
One thing about them streets, ain't no avoiding the street repercussions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we seen it clear as day. He's going through it. Even if you gotta mace your way out of a situation with Soulja Boy and his so-called goons, then there was a situation with 600 Breezy, right? Correct? And 600 Breezy said he gave him a pass, right? Correct.
Yeah.
And it was another situation with some so-called Paru, right? Ran down on him. He was with a chick.
I don't know about that, but I'm gonna have to figure that.
Yeah. It's a lot going on. Like, and this all this is happening in the last 2-3 weeks, maybe a month. Like, just countless situations where, you know, it can possibly happen. Like, you know what I mean? Shit happens. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And is it worth it? Is it worth it? Like, the trolling, is it really worth it? Because we all know some people ain't playing, man. And then it's not even them per se. It's the invisible men. It's the ninjas that you don't know about.
Okay.
So,
well, you know, there's a portion of his following that believes that what he's doing is cleaning up the streets. Now, I don't necessarily believe that his antics somehow, because when you really try to approach this situation with logic, the first thing that's going to be brought up is his work that he's done for the community. That's one.
Okay.
And secondly, they're going to say, how are you an advocate for artists who rap about sex, money, and drugs, right? Terrorizing that community. And these are the Jedi mind tricks that you stuck faced with trying to figure out, well, damn, he does make a point, but is he going about it in a wrong manner, right? That's the question, because, you know, does the antics equal up to the good? You know what I'm saying? Is it worth it at the end of the day? The impact. Is it okay for him to disrespect rappers now? It's done went to NBA YoungBoy, you know what I'm saying? He done called him out. So is all of that worth the squeeze in a sense? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when it comes to getting the results we need as a people, is he really making that type of impact in our community?
I would say it ain't worth it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
It ain't worth it. Is other ways to do it. But, you know, hey, who am I?
I don't know, man. Just mrecktv. That's all I know, man.
Who am I? I just know we seen this movie before where trolling get met with repercussions.
Right.
6ix9ine situation. We seen this before. This ain't nothing new, man. A lot of people lost freedom, lives lost. You know, look what happened recently with Quando Rondo.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's all relatable because we talking about King Von. You see how Charleston White disrespect King Von name and his legacy.
I mean, he said in the video reacting to Quando getting shot. What did he say? He said something to the effect that, like, we don't care. Your homeboy the one that shot King Von. We don't care. I was just like, yo. Right. You know, and again, I look at it as just him trying to press buttons, trigger people emotions,
that's it.
Get everybody riled up to talk about it, you know, top of the week, Monday morning. But now
he said it himself, though, not to cut your wisdom. He's a shot.
Yeah.
That's what he said, right?
Yeah. I mean, how can you not see that by now? But the problem is, eventually, I feel like people tune you out. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what's happening.
It's already controversial there's always run-ins and situations, but hey, Charleston, grown man, you know, unfortunately, it's already out there. The internet is up there. What they say is up, it's stuck. It's on the internet. It ain't going nowhere. So, you know, he'll be all right. I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about him soon. But I'm glad you brought up Quando Rondo because I believe, was it Friday? Over the weekend, it was being reported that Quando.
Yes, Friday.
So Friday evening, right?
Correct.
Being reported that Quando Rondo was shot while him and his crew was at a gas station. Then later reports came out to clarify. Come to find out, it wasn't Quando. It was somebody, a member from his entourage. Saying a car pulled up with 3 men, shot into the car. Of course,
like
the video
times, right? 15 times or something like that.
Yeah, you know, they definitely shot the car up. But the video came out early Saturday morning, man. People were showing it. Quando, you know, reacting to his homeboy, who pretty much was lifeless right there on the scene.
He was hysterical.
Yeah. He was screaming. You know what I'm saying? Just lashing out. You know, I don't know how genuine that reaction was because, again, I'm not, you know, tapped in with him on a regular like that to know him.
Likewise.
And his mannerisms. But according to the people reactions online, man, it seemed like they never seen him act like that before. So this past year has got to be a lot for him. You know, since the killing of King Von on up until this point, I mean, psychologically, I'm pretty sure he done been through a lot. You know what I mean? And now to witness your own people's, you know what I'm saying, get hit right in front of you, like, you know, like for real, it's got to be heavy on his conscience, man. It's
correct.
That's what I mean. Like, it's just
think about it. He escaped death because if his homie was in a car riding with him, got hit and, you know, was terminated on sight, and he was right there, that means if he was sitting in that same spot his homie was at, that could have been him. I mean, and they said initially that was for him. Well, you know, rumors, according to the rumors and according to mainstream media. You know, they said the initial hit was for Quando Rondo. So crazy.
That's what I mean. You know,
he escaped death in a sense.
Obviously, it's gang politics. You know, this is a certain lifestyle that you have to be mindful of. And you in LA, which is different territory, very tricky. And if you're a part of that lifestyle, that culture, you got to be tapped in. You know what I mean? Obviously, they weren't with anyone. You know what I mean? Because something like this shouldn't happen, right? I'm pretty sure somebody. I don't know. You know, we hear about artists tapping in, people checking in, right, checking in, tapping in. People take it the wrong way, right? You seen what happened when Steven Jackson pulled up. Of course, he ain't no gang member, nothing like that, right? Or no rapper, but he pulled up on Old Block.
He said, "I checks in."
You know what I'm saying? They looked at him funny style for us. So I don't know, but artists just got to be more mindful. Like you already rapping in the music about this lifestyle. You really out here living it, so it's just like you got to be more mindful in how you move. You know, like you literally watched King Von, you know, pass away in front of you. Like you was literally holding this man as he passed away in your arms. Right. Like, yo, you can't tell me that don't mess with your core, your soul. You can't tell me it doesn't. So it's like, come on, do you have a death wish? You're like, what point are you trying to prove? Is it to prove to your fans that you real because you out here without security or any form of protection? I mean, how many more rappers got to get killed, gunned down in broad daylight for artists to understand that you got to move accordingly?
Correct.
Come on.
I agree with you, King.
The internet is wild. Like, you know how many people see you and you don't see them? So
it goes back to what I was saying, the invisible men, the ninjas, you know what I mean? And just people in general you don't know that have an issue with you because you might have dissed their favorite artist or they homie. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's why, you know, somebody like Charleston White should be paying attention. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's not far removed from what he's doing on the internet with the antics. Because, you know, with all these young rappers, they whole thing is the beef with the ops on record and all on the internet.
Yeah, and diss the dead ops and all of this, and we smoking on the ops and all of this. And this is the part where, like, if you're just a listener to the music, at what point do you hold yourself accountable to the content that you listen to? Because now you got Tuka mother, like, incidences like that where now the mothers had to come out, family members got to come out and speak because their children who've passed on, who transitioned, are being mentioned in songs and people disrespecting them. Wow, it's that part of the sector where it's foul. You know what I mean? Like, this is not where hip hop is supposed to represent in that aspect. Of course, some people are gonna say hip hop sold out a long time ago, but especially when we talking about like the demonic messaging and the subliminal, hidden demonic messaging that be in these videos and the visuals. It's a lot that could be talked about, but this specific incident is just like, why did the media, run with this narrative that he was shot? You know what I mean? How did that get leaked to the media in that way? You know what I mean? Maybe it's one thing to be involved in the shooting, but to have everybody at the same time run with the narrative, I thought that media could be a little bit more responsible in that regard, but I guess, what's media?
I'm gonna say this.
In 2022.
I pumped the brakes on uploading that content because I had it already, Hip Hop DX had covered it. And we were sourcing them. You know what I mean? Shouts to SJ. She was doing a voiceover, sourcing Hip Hop DX on that initial story with Quando Rondo reportedly being shot at that time. And I looked into it and I listened. I said, hold on. At the end of the story, it says, he hasn't, he doesn't have any he doesn't have any injuries.
Right.
So I'm like, that's false information. So he was never shot. If he don't have no injuries, what we talking about?
Listen, man.
You understand what I'm saying?
We got a situation where misinformation came out of the situation, and I don't know if it was just a rush to report that a rapper was shot, because
that's what it was.
Days prior to that, there was another rapper who was shot, Nappy Roots, remember?
Yes.
Fish Scales, right? And to me, that just kind of just like came and went. You know what I mean? Like, and that headline was crazy. He was robbed, shot at his own restaurant. They took him from the location to attempts to take him back to wherever. And luckily he was able to get away. He survived.
And that really happened.
Really happened, yeah.
And it wasn't really, no light on that situation. They didn't really shed as much light on a real situation opposed to somebody who they said reportedly got shot but never got shot. It was actually his homie, rest in peace, that initially died. But that's crazy within itself. That's the universe just showing you how, of course, the media works.
Of course, it's probably because it's Nappy Roots. You know what I mean? They might not be known to the mainstream crowd of compared to a Quando Rondo, because he's a little younger. But the point is, it's like when now we become a little desensitized to it. It used to be the headline, but now every day there's a different story about a rapper, losing their life, whether it be on live, on camera. I mean, it's all type of wickedness out here. And now, like I said, where do the artists take accountability and responsibility when you putting out a certain message? Like, you got to stand on that. And if you're going to stand on it, then like, don't live out here like you have a death wish, because that's what it comes off as. Like, if you out here and you live in a lifestyle and you antagonizing the people that you dissing on a daily, I mean, we've seen it. What's the one dude named FBG Duck? Like, he was at the mall outdoors. They out broad day. So it's like, you got to be mindful.
Wasn't he on live? I believe.
I don't think he was on live, no. But I think people nearby may have, captured something on footage, like the aftermath of it. Because
I think that's how they knew where he was at.
I'm not surprised.
You know
what I'm saying? I'm not surprised, but it's a certain energy that you put out there in that universe, man. Yes. And you don't dictate when it, when it's on or when it's off. It's like once you win, you win. And it's a good thing that he didn't lose his life, but it's unfortunate that, somebody did lose their life in his camp and he had to witness it. So, it's tough. Like I said, it's tough. Like I said, it's
putting on universe pretty much.
Come on, man. Like I said, it's wild, man. But it's another day in hip hop, right?
Correct.
Trying to think what else. YSL, right? Young Thug and Gunna case, man.
They said they got
telling,
cooperating, telling, snitching, however you want to.
Somebody telling y'all. Man. Yeah, apparently whoever cooperating in the YSL case, the DA done spoke out saying that they're getting threats and the family being threatened. So listen, I don't know what they got, who's telling, because another thing is, from the reports I read, is that the identity of the informant was revealed on social media. So somebody out here one of these platforms put the identity of the snitch out, and now they feel like, they got to protect this person. So I don't know if this is good news, bad news. I don't know. It just, and now if you have done anything illegal, now you got to sit back and wonder. This is why, like, doing gang activities and things of that nature is tough, because you might be a solid individual, but what about everybody involved in the case? Everybody get hit with that time. Ain't no telling what they're gonna call for. So, like, what are your thoughts on that? You know what I mean? Does this help Thug and Gunna in any way possible?
How could it? This actually hurts them more than it helps them, because if somebody's volunteering information, let's just say that.
Right.
As a part of a team. They're already, jammed up for whatever charges they jammed up for. So now this add insult to injury when it's somebody who was directly there, somebody that's, say, I'm a part of that. I got that tatted on my arm, so to speak.
Yeah, ain't no telling how long he been
telling the DA and the judge what's really going on, what went down at this particular time, and this, that, and the third, and who's really the big homie, and he sent out these hits allegedly, and he got bricks on the street, whatever it is. I don't know what's being told or what's being said.
Right. But the point is, you got a mole in your camp. Ain't no telling how long he been squealing, and now you got to think back and hope and pray that if guilty, that you ain't commit no crimes in front of this individual, because they talk about they got evidence. So now we're gonna have to sit and wait and see how this thing plays out. But
correct,
like you said, it hurts them more than it helps. But we just gonna have to sit and see how this thing,
watch how it play out.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. People sitting here talking about free YSL and all that, but they're gonna be. We probably won't hear about them till the beginning of the next year, January. At least the case. At least that's what's being reported.
Bail was denied for a third time for Young Thug.
Damn.
Crazy. And how long they been in that? Been in there now, like since May, right? Like
feel like about 2 months now. Feel about 2 or 3 months now. So
think about May. So
yeah.
June, July. Oh, so like 3 months going on 4 months now.
And it probably feel like 6, because jail ain't no joke.
Man,
ain't no concept.
Being locked up during the summertime, man.
But then again, I don't know. I heard they got internet. So I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they got AC and fans in there. But from what I understand, even going through the bookings myself, man, it's hot as hell in there, man. Like literally, like in the wintertime it's hot. So imagine the summertime.
Oh, you know damn. Well, it's different here. The book is cold. Ain't no heat.
Wow.
And they take your
yeah, in a sense. Like, you know, like say for instance, I remember getting, you know, going through the bookings in the fall and it was hot. So maybe when it get real cold, I don't know, maybe.
Nah. In the bookings, it's like 30 degrees, King.
Damn.
They take your hoodie, they take your shoestrings. So you just in there, cold as a mud. Just you know what I'm saying? So
crazy, man.
That's why I said, like, jail ain't no joke. You know what I mean? Like, 24 hours feel like 48 in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even have that concept of time when you in there. So,
yeah, you can't even look at the clock on the wall. Because listen, man, a minute feel like 10 hours. You know what I'm saying? In a sense.
10 naps. Think the day done went by, nigga. You only slept for an hour. You be like, yo, what the?
Yeah.
And don't let it be like
30 dreams.
Right. Like, don't let it be the joints where like it's a little bit of light that come through the window. Like, man, couldn't pay me to live that life. Y'all can have that.
Have that.
Have that. I don't want no parts. You know,
I'm good on that.
Listen, man.
I'm all set on that. All set on that.
Yeah, y'all can have that. Y'all can have that. But before we get up out here, it's like I guess one more topic or so to talk about. R. Kelly former artist Sparkle had to speak out once the niece who was involved in the tapes from back in the day with R. Kelly is now taking a stand in this new case, who is now 37 years old, grown woman.
Wow, 37.
Right? The niece is now making claims that Sparkle was the one who introduced her to R. Kelly. Basically encouraged her to get close to R. Kelly, you know, rub his head, sit on his lap.
Damn.
Basically was the one that suggested that R. Kelly be her godfather. What else? It was wild. Her parents used to drop her off at R. Kelly house, you know, unattended with no adults, no supervision whatsoever. So Sparkle had to come out and say, like, that's not true. So it's so much deception, so many, you know, narratives. What are your thoughts on this, man? You think Sparkle lying? You think this for the money? I mean,
I'm gonna be honest. If I do recall, and don't quote me on this, but I do remember her saying, if not in the documentary Surviving R. Kelly, because I seen, you know, I think the first one or whatever, she was in that one, right? I believe.
I don't know.
It was like they put out like what, like 7-8 joints. It was
like, I think it was 2 seasons. I think it was like 2 seasons,
maybe 14 or something like that. But anyhow, I seen like one of the joints, and she was in there, and I think she did say she introduced her niece to R. Kelly. You know, so I don't know.
That's why I said it's tough, because for years when they had the opportunity to get the conviction, she said she didn't know him and that wasn't her in the tape. So you've been sticking to the stance, you know, at least to the public for at least over a decade plus. Now, as a grown woman, you change the stance and put it on Sparkle. And ultimately, I'm done with this whole situation, because it's obvious R. Kelly shouldn't be the only one in jail. You know, too many people were involved. Come on. So it's like, is it because, you know, you want to ruin a reputation of just him? You know, because if it was really about getting justice for those that was taken advantage of allegedly, then parents, everybody got to go.
Correct.
Everybody got to go. It's no excuse. Whether you like the man music or not, you know how the media is. This stuff goes back to the 90s. So you can't tell me you wasn't aware of some narrative or reputation that was out there, right? We all heard about Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? Right? Rest in peace. So how, as a parent, how do you say, well, let me introduce my young child, underage child, to Robert for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Like people be trying to justify. R. Kelly's a superstar, so of course he's gonna have fans all across the board. But where is it okay to be like, yo, let's let R. Kelly mentor my little niece? You know what I'm saying? Like it's
my underage niece.
Right. Like we talking R. Kelly. This man
without a parent consent being there. Like at least okay, if you feel like R. Kelly's going to give your daughter, your niece a shot, you should be there.
Yeah.
You know, just to make sure everything is.
But
it's business. Make sure everything is all business. You know what I mean?
Was he in the business of putting out child artists? You know, I don't know how old Aaliyah was, but you know, maybe I don't know. Like I said, the mindset behind it, I don't see how you would want him to be her godfather and all of this and that. You know what I mean? A lot of this stuff has been put out there already, right? I think her ex-husband or whatever alleged that he's the one that introduced her to R. Kelly. She left him for R. Kelly. So what I mean, there's so many different narratives and claims that's out here. It's really hard to confirm what's real and what's not. All we do know is that a lot of people are wrong for introducing their children to this man if you already knew the reputation that existed behind his name. So it goes to show that you use your child in hopes for a check. You use your child as a pawn to extort this man at some point. Use it against him, not realizing that your child will be violated and sacrificed along the way. Like, how does that make a parent feel? Your job is to protect your children. I don't give a damn what record deal or whatever Robert got. Like, come on. It's no justification for this. Come on, yeah. Like, come on. I'm saying, so that's why I said, like, it's here we are in 2022 and more information is coming out. And like I said, you know, now we're going to have to wait and see what more is said in this case. And will others be now implicated in this, you know, because it's looking crazy out here. They done hit R. Kelly with a 30-piece. You know, he ain't coming home. They gave him, what, 30?
That's just one of the cases that he got sentenced for. Right now, this is a whole nother case. So,
you know, of course he's going to appeal. Anything is possible, right? They let Bill Cosby home, but we got to see, man. But it's just, it's looking crazy. Like I said, he was, I think it was a RICO, right? They hit him with a RICO, all right?
Yeah, I think so.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how is he the only one convicted a part of a RICO case? Like, you compare this to the YSL. A lot of members, a lot of people. But in this situation, it's just him. I think I seen like 2 other names maybe mentioned. But the vocal point has always been about R. Kelly, R. Kelly. And even in that case, where he beat the case because the girl who testified said it wasn't her, now gets to come back years later and say, oh, no, I was lying. You see how that? So this is what I mean, how it becomes conflict because he done already beat it. Now you get to come back and reverse the decision. I mean, I don't know if that's legal or not. I don't know if you can, but we know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is, man. I done seen crazy headlines this week. I think it was the one guy. Remember I sent the story to you, the article with the man with the bus and the kids. You know what I'm saying? Out of here. Wow, he just got granted parole. I'm like, yo.
Had a school bus full of kids back in 1976 that like the whole school bus disappeared with the kids or something like that to that effect.
Something wild. And he just got granted release, parole. So it's like, yo, the way that the justice system works, it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't, man. But in this situation, everything is foul. Come on, man. But we, you know, like I said, it is what it is. But I think that's it for this week on the MReckNRip show. I know we had T.I. had a little suspect moment. I don't know what that was about this week.
Yeah. T.I. wound up tapping homie Jaw from the Chainsmokers, I believe. I forgot his name.
Apparently changed Drew Taggart or something like that.
He rocked his chin.
Yeah, he kissed T.I. on the cheek or something. I don't know. He trying to have a viral moment. We don't have video of him doing it, but the aftermath for the homie from Chainsmokers explaining what happened when he met him. So T.I. had to come out and explain that it's all love. He wanted him to come on the Expeditiously podcast.
That's kind of strange too. Like, man, I don't know. I'm not inviting nobody on my podcast that initially tried to invade my manhood, so to speak.
Right.
Because that right there, that's the introduction. Somebody trying to kiss you in the cheek. So imagine if T.I. would have just been like, that's love right there. You feel me? Like let it rock. Imagine if T.I. let it rock or something. You know what I mean? And then
not the king of the South. Not the king of the South.
Now you inviting him to your studio. That's a more intimate space.
Come on, man. That's why I said some people say, "What's the problem, man? He from Atlanta." I said, "Damn, they going in."
Damn, that studio podcast interview we had to wait, man. Like things got to simmer down. T.I. was trying to get that popping ASAP. I don't know.
I'm just glad homie ain't get stomped out for being dumb and goofy because y'all keep with these pranks till they make an example out your ass. Then what? You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't play like that. I don't think he gonna do that to Boosie. I know that.
I don't know.
I bet you he won't do that. You know what I'm saying? Do that prank and see what happens. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like,
and then Boosie ain't doing no records with you, no podcasts or nothing. Boosie gonna be like, I don't want nothing to do with you. Like, you know what I mean? So
listen, that's what I'm saying. Like,
salute to T.I. for handling the situation as a man, because I would have handled it the same way. But
I mean, you got to. That's technically
ain't no podcast invite though.
Oh nah. But I think he handled it like that because homie could technically want to file charges if you think about it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, somebody like forcefully try to invade your space. Let's just say that, so to speak. You got every right to defend yourself.
Oh, of course. But I'm just saying, when somebody telling a story of, oh, I met T.I. and he punched me in the face. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that in itself is like, oh, you know what? Just to protect my freedom.
Brand and
yeah. Hey, it's all love, chain.
Yeah, I get it.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Shit. So, but that was weird. It came and went too. They talked about it. They ain't talk about it no more. So
I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. Was it promotion for the podcast? Because where's the video of the actual? We seen video of them in the club together, or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the video of that situation? Cameras is always on, due to these mobile devices, and T.I. and chain smokers are who they are. I'm pretty sure the fans was like this the whole time with their phones and mobile devices.
I hope that's not the case. But in 2022,
you just can't put it past nobody.
Nope, you can't. You really can't. But like I said, T.I. coming from the space of hip hop, rap, however you want to look at it, the South, he got a certain image to uphold. So, I mean, even Will Smith got kissed and slapped somebody. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
on impulse.
Yeah, that's just second nature.
Impulse. That's
right, second nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least, unless we Chris Rock, you know what I mean? Then you stick your chin out and be like, Richard.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you Chris the only person on the planet that stick his chin out and be like, oh,
take it on the chin, like, and then make a joke about it. You know what I mean?
That was the greatest moment in television history, ladies and gentlemen.
Nah, we ain't doing that. But salute to Chris Rock and salute to Will Smith, salute to T.I., the chain smokers and all that. But all the funny, the fun boy ish, just keep that off the table, man. You know what I mean?
So basically, yeah, I was gonna say. So basically, if Drew run up on you at the club m.reck, and he tried that stunt, what's gonna happen, man?
Man, listen, he might wake up in a hospital bed, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Listen, I do not play, you know what I mean, with my manhood in no kind of way. You know what I mean?
Right.
And salute to those that's on the other side and do what they do. But I was just not on that time. You know what I mean?
No, it's all good, man. But like, you know, I think it's just more so people playing. You know what I mean? Like,
what I'm saying, everybody,
however they get down is how y'all get down. Y'all get fun like that, you know, college fun. However they get down, I think they DJs. So, you know, however they, you know, have fun, but keep that in house. Keep that between y'all.
There, man.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't play like that. And like I said, I can't imagine you trying that on Boosie without one of them. You damn sure ain't gonna do it on the baby. I already know that for a fact. The baby's going.
Yeah, you seen dudes trying to take pictures with him, trying to put their arm around him, and he slapped dude's hands down.
Come on,
fast, and that's what I'm saying. Like, come on,
it's not gonna happen. Then he'll do it himself. He ain't got no problem. Hands and feet right there.
Early.
You know what I'm saying, and wait for him. Do the whole interrogation and everything. I told him. So, you know, leave that over there, man. But that's all we got for y'all today on the MReckNRip show. Like I said, man, I know we took a small hiatus, but we will be back, you know, at least once a week, twice a week at least. You know, try to get y'all some interviews, some original content. In the past, you know, early this month, not even last month, early a couple weeks ago, we was at the Rock the Bells Fest. Dope event. Shout out.
2 weeks ago.
Man.
Very dope event, man.
Come on, man. Shout out to LL. You know, we had a line him and Ice Cube. They did their thing. It was dope, man. Dope energy. Man. LL in Queens, man. Legendary. You know what I'm saying? So
epic.
No, real shit, man.
Historical.
For real, like. But what you got, you know, coming up this week for the people, man? You know, let them know what they can tap into, because I'm gonna probably premiere this tonight. You know,
man, just tune in to m.reck TV. You know, exclusive interviews, spooky hours, heavy gems, more movies and television shows, man. So and a big announcement coming that m.reck TV is going to be on a bigger platform, you know. So that's what we doing. So tune into that m.reck TV on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. It's scrolling across the stream right now.
The bottom. The ticker.
Follow Forgotten Kings TV.
Of course. The
bottom of the ticker, the banner.
And yeah, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, MReckNRip Show.
Correct. Subscribe right now. Don't wait till later.
Nah, right now. Real shit, man. Shout out to all the supporters. We at the beginning stage. Things will be changing. So just stay tuned, man. You know, respect, love to everybody. But like my man say, man, what he say? Double deuces, bubble gooses, man.
Double deuces and bubble gooses. We gone. Salute,
King.
M.reck got a music brand, I love mine. I walk right in, I don't wait on the club line. Chicks all high, sex them out of they drug mind. My rehab sex, sober they ass up. I put them on a team, gutter music get fast bucks. I can do it honest, or I can get masked up. This raw uncut, you can cook